Okay, can you see the PowerPoint, students? Is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. So, sorry. So in today's lecture, I will try to finish the body movements, and also I will keep I will discuss content beyond syllabus. Actually, I was planning to discuss about the skeletal system, the bones present in the body. So these two topics I will discuss today: movements of the body and bones present in the body, or simply skeletal system. Sorry. Okay, the subject code is BMLS 2004, and the subject name is Human Anatomy and Physiology. Currently, we are in the Unit 2. In the Unit 2, we are currently discussing the musculoskeletal system. In this, we already finished the classification. Then we finished the structure of skeletal muscle. Then we discussed about the joints of various joints. Then we are discussing the movements of the body, various types of movements of the body. Then I will discuss the bones present in the human body. Okay. Hmm. So we already finished all of this. We have 7 types of synovial joints. We have plane joints, then hinge joint, pivotal joint, condyle or ellipsoidal. Then we have saddle joint and ball and socket joint. So these are the different types of synovial joints. Then we discussed about anatomical positions and planes also we discussed. So in case of anatomical planes, we have medial plane, sagittal plane, mid sagittal plane, coronal plane, horizontal plane, and frontal plane. Okay, and oblique plane also we have. So these are the major types of anatomical planes. Then we discussed certain terms that are used in gross anatomy, such as front is called anterior, back posterior, superior, inferior, medial, lateral, vertical. Then we discussed about cranial, caudal, and ventral and dorsal. So these are the terms that are used in anatomy. Then coming to the movements of the body. This topic we need to finish. So the first one is flexion. So flexion means decreasing the angle in between the organ, the moving part, can be stated as a flexion. So I will show you here. See here. When we are folding our leg like this, the angle was decreased here. Let me draw here. Let me take highlighter. Here the angle was decreased. So if we decreasing the angle when we are moving any limb, means that decreased angle is called as flexion. If we are increasing this angle, means then it is called as extension. So this is the major difference between flexion and extension. Extension means the angle between the organ will be increased, whereas flexion means angle will be decreased. Okay. So what they said is actually severe cough and cold for me. Approximation of flexor surfaces where by the angle L means, here I'm telling about angle. Okay, angle of joint is decreased. So if the angle of the joint decrease means, then this is called as flexion. If the angle increased means, then it is called as extension. approximation of extensor surface where the angle is increased. This is called as extension. Okay, so flexion means angle will be decreased, whereas extension means angle will be increased. Then third one is abduction. Abduction means moving towards the central axis. I will show you a diagram here. Yeah. See, if you are bringing your leg to the center, central axis means this one. Okay. So if you are bringing any limbs towards the central axis means this is called as abduction. Okay. Uh, okay. There is a slight difference in this word, students. See, adduction means to bring to the central axis, whereas abduction means to move away from the central axis. The only difference is AB and here ADD. Adduction means towards the central axis, abduction means away from the central axis. So far I have given four body movements. One is extension, other one is flexion. Flexion means the angle will be decreased, whereas extension means angle will be increased. Whereas adduction means movement of limbs towards the central axis, whereas abduction means movement of the limbs away from the central axis. Can we
Sir,
say like this?
abduction means so going at ease, and adduction is then attention moves.
Yes. Abduction means moving away from the body midline, whereas adduction means bringing towards the body center line. Next is lateral rotation and medial rotation. Very simple, students. Lateral rotation means outward rotation, whereas medial rotation means inward rotation. So if you have your wrist like this, if you are moving wrist in this way, in the right, in a clockwise direction, then this is called um, lateral rotation. If you are moving this in an anti-clockwise, then it is medial rotation. So lateral rotation and medial rotation. Then circumduction. Circumduction means very simple, protrusion. Um, how can I say? Wait, I will show you here. Okay. Uh, Without moving the hand, if you are only moving the thumb means this is called circumduction. So without moving the hand, if you are only rotating the thumb means this movement is called as circumduction. Okay, circular movement. Okay, this is called circumduction. Then you have rotation. Rotation means rotation of the head. So that you already know. So rotation means head rotation, whereas circumduction means moving apart, so the end follows a circular path. So at the end, the tip of the thumb will start following a circular path. So this is called circumduction. Then supination and pronation, you already know. Supine position means keeping the palm like this is supine position, whereas keeping the palm backward like this is called pronation. Supine position and prone position we studied in the starting. So supination means moving palm towards the up like this, whereas pronation means backside like this. This is called pronation. Then we have hyperextension. So hyperextension means beyond the capability of extension, sometimes we may extend them. That is called hyperextension. So that means excess extension of any part can be stated as a hyperextension. Then we have two more, which is dorsiflexion and plantar flexion. So dorsiflexion means bending the foot at the right angle towards the chin, bending the foot upward. So bending the foot upward is called as a dorsiflexion, whereas bending the foot downwards is called as plantar flexion. So upwards is called dorsiflexion, whereas downwards is called as plantar flexion. Okay, plantar flexion means downwards, whereas dorsiflexion means upwards of the foot. Other than this, there should be other words. What is this? Yeah, inversion and eversion. So inversion means here turning the foot so that the sole faces medially. So this is called as inversion. That means your foot will face the medial line. Okay, so this movement is called as inversion. And if you are bringing the palm, okay, the foot surface away from the midline means this is called eversion. If you're facing your foot towards the midline means that is called inversion. If you're facing your foot away from the midline means that is called eversion. Inversion and eversion. Okay. So inversion, eversion we finished. Then protraction. So protraction means thrusting the chin forward. So if you are bringing your chin forward means that is called protraction. Okay. And if you are bringing the chin backwards to its normal position means that is called retraction. Okay, retraction means backward movement of the chin, whereas protraction means forward movement of the chin is called as protraction. Then we have elevation. Elevation means simply your shoulders. If you elevate your shoulders like this, then that movement is called elevation. And if you are bringing your shoulders back to its normal position means that is called depression. So yes, so these are the few terms that we will use for movement of the body. So a quick sorry, a quick revision. So flexion means decreasing the angle between the flexor surfaces, whereas extension means increasing the angle between the flexor surfaces. That means the one which will move. So flexion and extension. Then hypertension means moving beyond the capability of the movement can be stated as a hyperextension. Then we have dorsiflexion and plantar flexion. Dorsiflexion means moving of the foot to the above. Okay. So bending foot towards upwards is called as dorsiflexion, and bending foot downwards is called as plantar flexion. Then abduction means moving foot away from the midline can be stated as an abduction, and bringing foot towards the midline can be stated as a adduction. Then rotation means rotation of the head. Okay, moving around the central axis can be stated as a rotation. Circumduction means the one part will be fixed and other part will move in a circular path. Such movement is called a circumduction, which is seen in the thumb. Then supination means turning your palm towards upwards is called supination, and turning your palm backwards is called as a pronation position. Then eversion means keeping palm away from the midline is called inversion means keeping palm towards the midline is called inversion, whereas eversion means keeping palm away from the midline is called as eversion. And protraction means moving your chin forward is called protraction, and bringing your chin backwards is called as retraction. Elevation means rising your shoulders. Depression means decreasing your shoulders. So this is all about the movements of the body. Is that clear? All these words, terms?
Yes.
Yes.
Students?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's it. A quick revision. We have, these are the few movements that we have in the joints. So we have flexion, extension, hyper extension, dorsiflexion, plantar flexion, abduction, adduction, rotation, circumduction, supination, pronation, eversion, inversion, protraction, retraction, elevation, and depression. Actually, students, only these names are tricky, but all those are very common things actually. They are very common movements that we are using regularly, but we just named them. That's it. Okay. So let us try to do a quick revision on this topic. Okay, moving chin forward is called as what type of movement, students? Moving chin forward. Moving our chin forward like this is called as what type of movement? Protraction. Okay, protraction. Very good. Then elevating your shoulders is called as?
Elevation.
Elevation. Okay. Then bringing back the shoulders is called as?
So depression.
Depression. Very good. Then keeping palm like this position.
So prolaction.
Palm upwards. Huh?
Supination.
Supination. Very good.
Supination.
Very good. So turning palm backwards. Turning palm backwards is called as? Pronation. Very good. Pronation. Yeah. Then moving a part away from the midline is called as? This movement is called
Abduction.
Abduction.
Spelling. AB or ADD?
AB.
AB, abduction. Very good. And bringing towards the central to the midline is called as
Adduction.
Adduction.
adduction. Very good. Then keeping your palm away from the midline is called as, your foot away from midline is called as
Inversion.
keeping your foot away from the midline is called as away from the midline. EVE, aversion. Okay. Towards the midline is
Inversion.
inversion. Towards midline is inversion. Away from midline is aversion. Okay. EVE.
Aversion.
Yeah. Then decreasing the angle between the flexing surfaces is called as decreasing the angle between the flexing surfaces. Huh?
Flexion.
Flexion. Very good.
Flexion.
Flexion. Very good. And increasing the angle is called as
Relaxation.
Extension.
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 extension. Very good.
Extension.
Okay. That's it, students. So you got some idea about movements of body. This is one important question. Okay, you need to write all these
Yes.
terms with a brief description. Okay. So I will move on to the next topic, which is skeletal system. So parts of bones and their names. Okay. Okay, students. So that's it. Dorsiflexion, plantar flexion, you already know. Upward movement of foot is dorsi. Downward movement of foot is called as plantar flexion. Okay. Then tell me this one also, students. Movement of your thumb in a circular pathway is called as
Circumduction.
correct, circumduction. Okay. So the next topic of today's lecture is skeletal system, students. So what first I will tell the functions of skeletal system. So first let us see the functions of skeletal system, then we can see the classification of skeletal system. And can anyone guess how many bones does the adult will have?
206.
Perfect. 206 bones, 206 bones, correct. So let us see the functions of skeletal system. Sorry. So the first function is movement. So skeletal system will provide all the types of movement to the body with the help of tendons, ligaments, and muscles, right? So the first function is movement. Then second function is support. So skeletal system will give the support. So the entire body was supported by the backbone, the spinal cord. So skeletal system will give the support to the body. Skeletal system will also provide protection to the vital organs such as the lungs. So lungs are embedded within a rib cage. So they are protected by these rib bones so that lung won't get damaged. So skeletal system is also playing important role in providing protection to the vital organs such as our heart and the lungs. So heart and lungs are protected within the chest cavity. So that is all about the protection function of the skeletal system. Then fourth one is, interestingly, it is the bone where the blood will be synthesized. So in the bone marrow only we will get the blood. So blood is produced in the bone marrow. So skeletal system also plays an important role in production of the blood. So blood is produced by the bone marrow. And last and final, skeletal system will act as a storage area for calcium. So many minerals and calcium are stored in the skeletal system. Okay, so magnesium, calcium, or zinc, all these electrolytes. Okay, all these micro elements are what is that? Essential and non-essential. Trace elements. So trace elements are present in the bones only. Okay, iron, magnesium, zinc, all these are present in the bones. So they will act as a storage function also there for the skeletal system. So these are the major functions of the skeletal system. Functions include movement, support, protection, making of blood, and storage function are the major functions of the bones. Then coming to the classification of skeletal system. So basically this skeletal system is broadly divided into two areas, students. One is axial skeletal system, and second one is appendicular skeletal system. So what is the difference between axial and appendicular? Axial means these are the bones which are present in the mid-axis of the body. The bones that are present in the mid-axis or midline, those bones are called as axial skeletal system. So that axial skeleton includes skull, spinal cord, and sternum and rib cage. So skull, spinal cord, sternum, and rib cage are present in the axial skeletal system. Whereas appendicular skeletal system means whatever bones that are attached to this axial, they are the appendicular skeletal system, such as your hip bone, leg, hands and legs. Okay, they are the appendicular skeletal system. So appendicular skeletal system consists of limbs and hip bone, whereas axial skeletal system composed of skull, spinal cord, and rib cage. Okay. Okay, these other classification I will tell later. So I'm just keeping this picture. So I will give you some brief idea about complete picture of skeletal system. Okay, so usually you have the skull. Okay, so after skull you have the limbs, your hands. Okay, so this bone is called as humerus. Okay, and this along with the humerus, it is attached to two bones. Okay, after elbow it has two bones. The one bone is called ulna and other one is called as radius. So radius will be on the lateral aspect, whereas ulna will be on the medial aspect of the body when the palm is on supine position. So when the palm is on supine position, on the lateral part you will see the radius, whereas the medial part you will see the ulna. Or simply when you keep your hand like this, your lateral. So if I'm keeping like this, actually supine position means like this. So okay, towards the thumb, okay, towards the thumb you will have the radius, towards the pinky finger you will have the ulna. So always remember, so towards the thumb radius, towards the midline ulna, and the above bone is called as humerus. Okay, similarly in the legs also we have a similar bone which is equivalent to humerus, and that is called as femur. So femur is the thigh bone. Okay, thigh bone is called as femur. So femur, and in the legs also we have two bones, and they are called as fibula and tibula. Tibula is towards the medial, whereas fibula is out lateral to the midline. So on the lateral aspect you will see fibula, whereas medial aspect you will see the tibia. So tibia, fibula, and femur, tibia, fibula are in the legs, whereas humerus, radius, ulna present in the hands. Okay, then you have the rib cage. So this rib cage, in the back side, these ribs are connected to the spinal cord, whereas in the front, these ribs are connected to the sternum. So these ribs are connected in the front, in the anterior aspect to the sternum, whereas in the posterior aspect, these ribs are connected to the spinal cord. To be precise, in the spinal cord we have three segments: cranial, thoracic, lumbar, and coccyx. Okay, so these back side of the spinal cord, they will connect it to the thoracic vertebrae. Okay, so these are the rib cage, and this is called your hip bone. And at the end of the spinal cord, okay, at the end of the spinal cord, it has a fused bones. Some bones has been fused together to form a coccyx, coccyx, coccyx. Okay, coccyx. So coccyx means it is an ancient remnant of the tail actually. So in our ancestors we have tail, but the tail has been gradually diminished through evolution. So but still we have the remnant of the tailbone, and that tailbone is called as coccyx, which is present at the back side of the hip bone. Okay, then this front portion is called as pelvis, and these elevated portions are called as ilium. These elevated portions are called as ilium. In detail structure we will see later. So first to try to memorize the basic bones of the human body. So you have the skull, then neck, then you have the rib cage. On the front side you have the sternum, and here the hand bones include humerus, radius, and ulna. Whereas in the leg you have femur, tibia, and fibula. Okay. Then you have the hip bone, and that's it. So this is the basic parts of the skeletal system. Then we have a collarbone. So on the top of the rib cage, you will see a lateral bone. This is the only bone which is floating. There is some interesting feature for this clavicle. I will tell later. Okay, so this is the only lateral bone I think in the body. So clavicle is present, which is also called as collarbone. So these numbers are very important. So coming to the axial skeleton. So in the axial skeleton, it is composed of head, neck, and thorax. Okay. So first we are discussing about the skull regions. Okay, regions of skull, and skull has a cranium. Cranium composed of 8 bones. Then it has face. Face has 14 bones. Then hyoid bone, auditory ossicles. So 3 in each ear. So totally 6. Then you have vertebral column. Vertebral column has 26 vertebrae. Then you have the sternum and ribs. Ribs 24. So total is 80. So these are the bones which are present in the axial skeleton. Cranium means your scalp. Your skull will have 8 bones, and face have 14 bones, and 1 hyoid bone in the center of the skull. Then you have the auditory ossicles. Auditory ossicles means these are the bones present in the ear. Can anyone say the names of those 3 bones? Ear ossicles.
So malleus, incus, and steps.
Malleus, incus, and steps. Very good. Yeah. So auditory ossicles. Then vertebral column, you have 26 bones. Then a sternum and ribs. So these are the bones present in the axial skeleton and their number. 8 cranial bones, 14 facial bones, 1 hyoid bone, 6 ossicles, 26 vertebral bones, then 1 sternum and 24 ribs. So this is the count of the axial skeleton. Next, coming to the appendicular skeleton. In the appendicular skeleton, you have the clavicle, which is the top one. Okay, on the top you will see the clavicle. We have 2 clavicles. Then we have scapula. So where does this scapula present? Can anyone say location of scapula? The backside of your hand, you will see 1 bone that is called scapula. Okay, so we have 2 scapula. Then humerus. What is humerus, students? Where does it present? Humerus? Hand. Okay, very good. Yes, and radius ulna. Ulna and radius present in the hand.
Hand.
Yes. Then carpals. Where does the carpals present? Carpal bones.
So hand, so
Leg.
Yes, in the hand.
wrist.
In the wrist of the hand, you will see carpal bones. 8 each. Okay, 8. Okay. Then metacarpals. What are metacarpals? Do you have any
So
idea?
ankle.
Finger.
So phalanges.
After wrist.
Phalanges.
So
Yes,
Fingers
correct.
bone, sir.
I think, wait, I will bring one thing. Okay, there's no chalk piece. I thought of bringing chalk piece. Okay, leave it. Okay, so you have wrist bones, then these carpal bones, then the second bones arises from the carpal bones are called as metacarpals. Okay, so we have metacarpals of 10, 5 each. Then you have phalanges. What are these phalanges? Do you have any idea, students? Phalanges means your finger bones.
so finger bones.
Fingers.
Very good. Your finger bones are called as phalanges. Carpals, metacarpals, phalanges. Okay. So carpal bones, we have 8 carpal bones, 8 wrist bones. Then you have 5 metacarpals. And how many phalanges we have? 14 phalanges. 14 phalanges in one hand and 14 in other hand. So phalanges are the finger bones. Then next we have hip bone. So hip bone is it is a combination of two bones, right hip and left hip. Okay, so hip bone, we have two hip bones. Then we have femur. So femur is the thigh bone. Then fibula and tibula. So fibula, tibula are the bones of the legs. Then you have the patella. Where does this patella present, students? Do you have any idea? Where
Knee.
is
Bone. Knee bone.
knee bone?
Knee bone.
सर
Yes,
वो
very good.
इसके बीच में सर
Knee bone is
घुटना
called
के
as
बीच में
patella. Very good. Knee bone is called patella. Then you have tarsals. Tarsals are equivalent to the carpals. Okay. So
Sir,
tarsals are
ankle.
yes, ankle joint.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Ankle
Ankle.
joint has these tarsals. Okay, simply. Yeah. Then you have metatarsals and phalanges. So
The
both
foot
the
and
hand and
leg.
leg fingers are called as phalanges only. So we have similar phalanges, similar number. Okay, for hands and legs. Hmm.
Just mammal things.
Hmm. Okay, so this is all about the appendicular skeletal system with the number of bones. So it would have been nice if I have one picture here to show you diagrammatically. But you got some idea, right? Even though there is no picture, you got idea, right? By seeing these names.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we have the clavicle, scapula, humerus, ulna, radius, carpals, metacarpus, phalanges, hip bone, femur, tibia, fibula, patella, tarsals, metatarsals, and phalanges. So I came from the top to bottom portion of the body. So these are the parts of these are the bones present in the appendicular skeleton. Whereas in the axial skeleton, we have cranium. Cranium means the skull. Skull is composed of 8 bones. Okay. Then face has 14 bones. Hyoid bone is the central bone which is present inside the skull. Then we have auditory ossicles, vertebral column, sternum, and ribs. So these are the parts of the axial skeletal system. Then coming to the bones of the skull and face. So these are the bones of cranium. So let me show you here. Cranial bones. These are cranial bones, and these are the face bones. Bones present in the face. I'm just thinking whether I need to. Just a second. My laptop stopped. Laptop stopped, students. Just a second. All right. So we can do one thing, students. I will continue tomorrow. Okay. Actually, I'm not well. I'm ending this class,
Okay, sir.
students. Huh? You
It's
can
okay,
leave.
Take care,
sir.
sir.
Yes, yes,
Take
sir.
care,
Thank you.
sir.
it seems to be that you are not well.
Yes.
Thank
See
you,
you,
sir.
students. Yes. Everyone can.
See you, sir. Take care, sir.
Yes. See you,
Thank you,
students.
sir.
Yes. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes,
Thank
students.
you, sir.
Yes.
So be warm and safe.
Hmm?
So be warm, so you for cold down.
Yes, yes, Aman. I will do it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. Bye, sir.
Bye,
Yes,
sir.
see you soon. See you.
See you, sir.
Yes.